Hello and welcome to episode 577. I'm Laura, also known as Lala. Yes, I knew my name.
I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les. This is the TheKnitGirlls.
Oh, did I not say
you
that?
You did,
okay.
But that's okay. You're allowed to make one mistake in 600 episodes almost.
I feel like I've made more than one mistake in 600 episodes.
Laura and I both use the she, her pronouns. And if you hear background noise today, I apologize. I'm having a stump ground in the front yard, and I didn't actually anticipate it was going to happen today.
Because it's 110 degrees out here.
Yeah, so, or it feels like with the humidity.
Yeah, with the humidity. The heat index. And we're under a heat advisory.
Like most of the country.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so I genuinely didn't expect him to do the work today. So, anyway, this is generally, words are not all created equal.
Or mean the same things.
Yes. This is a knitting show. Normally.
Sometimes other crafting sneaks in.
Yeah, I talked to Jessie today about weaving some more of those towels. I was like, I want some. And she was like, well, I was thinking SSK prices. And I was like, yeah, that too, but...
I would like some, please, yeah. You need to get your loom warped again.
It's just, weaving takes...
It does.
So much setup time. And I mean, if I would do it more often, the setup time would reduce.
Yeah.
You know, I understand it.
There's been people who have been using the clampy Kates from Acreworks as, like, a warping peg.
I can see that.
Yeah. I thought that was very smart.
Yeah, super creative. Do you want to talk about what you're working on?
I'm almost at the end of a row.
Okay. Well, we can draw this out a little bit. Thank you
really not.
to everyone who offered kind words about our Neelix passing. It's very sad. But,
it's very quiet here now.
It is. It's unusual. I keep finding myself like looking for him when I'm letting Buffy in, or when I get up in the middle of the night, you know, to go to the bathroom or something. It's still weird, but it's less sharp than it was last week. So, yeah, I am knitting on some linen and cotton, so it is something I have to frequently take a break from because I've got carpal tunnel in my right hand. It's not super severe. It's not severe enough to need surgery at this point, but for some reason the linen exacerbates it and causes me to have like tingling fingertips.
Oh, well, it's because linen doesn't have a stretch.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't have the stretch that wool has, probably.
It's you know, I haven't made as much progress as I would like on this new thing.
Maybe cast on another sweater as well, and
I've
then
got
you'll
socks.
have to. Okay.
I got, you know, I take a break and knit socks.
Or spin.
So.
Or warp your loom.
Yeah, that's a huge endeavor. That's not a thing that I can just put aside when I'm not, when I don't finish it. So.
3 more stitches.
It's so pretty.
Thank you.
It's a very Jess color. Like
yeah,
the green.
I agree completely. Our friend Jessica. Yeah, I was just thinking today, I don't know what I have to wear under it. Like, clothing-wise, to, like, t-shirts. I'm not usually a brown person, and I don't know what color to wear under it, so ideas are recommended. I'm not going to buy a brown t-shirt. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, there's a reason why you don't own any. It's just not a color that you want to wear.
But the green's really pretty, and there's some blue flecks, so maybe a blue. I could do a blue underneath. I definitely have blue
like
shirts.
Like a hunter green?
Yeah.
Because you've got some of that dark green here in the middle.
Yeah. The blue's coming, and do you see the blues coming up? I love that. So I'm on the second cake now. Boop. This is Cloud Chaser by Heidi Kermayer. I did not check ease because I wanted to knit it, and I was like, I can make adjustments, but it calls the largest size is a 52, which is disappointing.
52, that includes the ease.
Yes, that is the actual garment measurement, and the front it's got like these very drapey fronts that are in stockinette and reverse stockinette. And they're supposed to overlap by like 6 inches. So that, like, one goes over the other and buttons. So that is problematic because my actual bust measurement is a 49. So I think the way I'm going to resolve that is I'm going to add a little bit more to the fronts.
Because the fronts are knit
Yeah.
up and down.
No, they're...
I mean, it's knit towards
Yeah.
the center.
Yeah. You pick up all the stitches from the front and knit towards the center. So I can add a couple more rows there, and different sizes have different row amounts there anyways.
Mhm.
So it's not going to be a terrible thing. But yeah, a little bit, I should have looked at that earlier and just wasn't thinking, but then I looked at this because it said to fit bust and I assumed it was with the ease built in, but I was wrong. I have plenty of yarn. I have all of this plus another cake.
Wow.
So,
And is this long sleeve or short
yeah,
sleeve?
it's long sleeve. It's definitely going to be a winter layering piece, for sure. And so I measured off of my favorite sweatshirt, which is from Neighborhood Fiber Company. It's a red sweatshirt that I got at Maryland like 7 years ago. And the underarm measurement on that is 18 inches. So it's going to be 18 inches from underarm to bottom. Right now I'm at 16. And I have been adding, one thing that I have changed is I didn't do the waist shaping. So I didn't, thank goodness, because I don't need it to go in anymore on the fronts and the side fronts. And then I also slowly started when I hit like 10 inches, increasing 1 stitch on either front, because my belly is actually bigger than my boobs. So I didn't want it to like pull out, you know. So I've been slowly kind of, that A-line shape is a good shape for me. I'm definitely that shaped, so at this point in my life. So yeah, that is what I'm working on with this. That's knit on size 4 needles, and then I go down to the size 3 for the others. It's a sport weight kind of, sort of. My grist has not stayed consistent throughout the spin, but that's okay. And then the other thing that I've been working on are some socks. So I finished the first sock. This is Nomadic Yarns. And I knit the Wendy Johnson from the toe up with gusset pattern on size 1 needles. And then I have the second sock all the way to the heel increases.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I did that at your house. I got from like here up all the way through there when we did the like barbecue thing. Yeah, cookout thing. Wake for Neelix thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I made good progress on that. I have to pick up a grocery order this week, so I will probably make some progress on it while I'm waiting for them to bring the groceries to my car. But yeah, that's what I've written. If we watch TV later, maybe I'll work on that. I got 6 inches done on the sweater, which made me feel good.
Yeah.
So that's been the majority of my progress for knitting this week, was definitely the sweater. That sock was a decent amount of stuff.
Yeah.
So that is it for me, those 2 things. What have you been working on?
So I've only got a couple things as well. So knitting on, I now can't remember the name of this color.
Is that the Thesaurus Day, maybe?
Yeah, I think it is the Thesaurus Day. I don't have the tag for some. Oh yeah, I do. Let's see. It is. Yep, Thesaurus Day.
It's a pretty one.
January 18th. This is a Knit Spin Farm sport weight from her sock club in the Targhee base. It is no longer available.
Targhee sport base, yeah.
Yeah.
She does have a Targhee fingering.
Here. And I think last time I was at the gusset, and now I'm down. I've got another maybe 3/4 of an inch before I start decreasing for the heel, or the toe. Sorry. So yeah, I haven't put a ton of work in on this this week because I started something new. And that is something that you probably are familiar with because Laura knitted.
It's such a great pattern. I want to knit another.
I'm surprised it doesn't have more projects than it does.
I know, like...
although not everyone uses Ravelry, and that's perfectly acceptable.
But she does offer her patterns on PayHip, too.
Right.
So,
I just knew, I went to look for other
projects, yeah.
So it's called Recalibrate. And
she also has a really cool gallery feature on her website where you can see it on all different types of bodies, which is wonderful. Okay,
in
perfect.
the show notes, and our show notes are on our website, which is TheKnitGirlls with 3Ls.com. Everything we talk about, we try to link there.
Sometimes.
So she gives you a lot of information, like the like how many to cast on doesn't start until like the 7th page, because she's giving you a lot of detailed information that answers most of your questions. You know, different schematics about what the measurements should be, what the ease is built in, and she even
how to
gives you
choose a size, how to there's
like
a coloring page. Yeah.
So if you've got a lot of bits and bobs of fingering weight just sitting around, this is a good way to...
Shayna does an amazing, like, if you want a detailed pattern, hers are wonderful.
This is the first one I've knit of hers, so it looks like it says she's got a video explaining sizing and color placement, so that's linked in the pattern as well. But, and I was looking in the projects on Ravelry, and someone made their dog.
Yes.
That is very cute.
Was it? It was Emily.
Was it? I don't know.
Yes, Emily made her dog one.
It's like a tiny little Yorkie.
Oh, there's a Chihuahua. Emily made one for her Chihuahua.
It's a little dog.
Yeah.
So.
Was it like neon colors?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I just remember seeing it and going, oh.
Pretty sure it's Emily that you'll meet at SSK.
So yeah, it's just garter stitch. It's in different directions.
Yep, there's some provisional cast-ons, but besides that, it's really, really...
And I'm a copycat when it comes to provisional cast-ons. I just cast on using the...
Judy's Magic Cast-On?
Thank you. I wanted to say Jenny, surprisingly, and that's not right. Judy's Magic Cast-On, which Knitty has.
Yeah, I was going to say thank you, Knitty.
So I cast on to 2 needles, just like if I was doing the toe of a sock, and then I put, you know, the bottom stitches on a holder, because those are the ones I'll come back and pick up later.
Yeah.
And then I start knitting from the top stitches. Super best possible way for provisional cast on, in my opinion. Because you don't have to bring out your crochet hook. And that makes me... I love crochet, but it is very fiddly to do a provisional cast on with a crochet hook. I feel like it is. So anyway, I'm knitting...
You know that made me cry in a class once, so...
Yeah. Well, it wasn't just the skill that was at fault there. It was you were trying to listen and there were other things happening in the room. So,
and I was a baby knitter. Well, not a baby knitter. It was like, what, 2009, 2010?
2009, I think. Yeah. So it's been a while. So I'm using Knit Picks Lindy chain, and this is I think 70% linen.
This is going to be a great summer top.
70% linen, 30% cotton, and it's a chainette, so it's like a tube, a hollow tube. And so I'm using these 2 different colors of purple. I'm very into purple at the moment, apparently.
One's more I see one of those.
Oh man, gray. I left my thing downstairs, my finished thing. I'll show it next week because I need a picture anyway, and it is too hot to get a picture of it today. But yeah, so I'm very into purple at the moment. This is sort of a gray-y purple. And I don't know what the color, they're just numbers.
Plum, yeah.
They're not named anything. So you start with these...
You're apologizing, but you made a lot of progress on that.
You start with these long, narrow panels. You do one for the front and one for the back. It's the center panel. And then you pick up along the sides, and you do each side. So it's like this. Nope, that's inside out. Nope.
Nope.
This one.
You had it right.
It's like this. So this is the center panel here. And then you can add in stripes or not stripes. You can do it at whatever point you want.
You can do it all in the same color if you wanted.
But I wanted to... I don't have as much of the light color as I do the dark, so I just wanted to add in 5 stripes on the side. Always do an odd number if you have the choice, because
what are you going to do for your... side panel,
the sides will be light, but everything else will be the dark purple.
Okay.
So the front panel and the side panels are the light, like grayish color, and then we'll have stripes close to the edge.
Yep.
But aside from that, like the bottom and then the hem,
Man, you're making me want to cast on another one.
It's very, like, you do have to, you go in a bunch of different directions, which...
Such chill knitting.
It's just garter stitch. The fanciest thing you do is you slip a stitch at the end of every row. That is it. That is the most complicated part about it. So,
and it's great if you're doing a first sweater, I feel like, because you're deciding how wide it is.
Yeah.
So
I was
gauge is not a super
I want
thing.
to say I would have fit the size 5 pretty well, but I went up to a size 6 just because it's linen. I don't want it to be tight. I want it to be flowy and drapey. So I just wanted the extra ease. So I just went up a size. And I have a very large chest, so it's never going to hurt to add a little bit of extra ease for me. But yeah, so I've got 3 more of the light gray stripes to do, and the most challenging part is remembering to carry the yarn up the side when I'm doing the different colors. I mean, it is very easy knitting, and it's you don't have to remember to increase or to decrease. You just count your ridges, and then you know how far you are. So I recommend it so far. You know.
And I just went by measurements. I didn't even do ridges. I just figured out measurements.
Oh, I'm doing ridges because it's easier. I don't have to find a tape measure or anything. So I do have a finished thing, but I forgot it downstairs. I finished the Bagamoyo by Catherine Folker. If you're going to SSK, it will be in the try it on room. I will try to have a picture of it next week to show, but it's just too hot to even imagine putting it on to take a picture at the moment. So it came out great. I soaked it and hung it to dry.
You hung it to dry?
Yeah, I mean, I hung it long ways, like down the center over the drying thing in my bathroom. I've got one of those retractable cord things, lines, and I hung it so that the line was going down the center of it rather than across it, just because it hides it better, in my opinion, than if it goes across it. Plus, I don't need any extra lines happening here for me. So, yeah, that's basically the entirety of my crafting. Have you finished anything this week?
No. Not even a
Says
smidge.
you finished some spinning.
I did finish some spinning. Well, I guess that is kind of finished. I have some spinning in progress too. So with spinning, let me increase the stitch, but I only have 2 stitches left. Today is all about me getting to the end of a row.
And the stump grinding happening outside.
Yes. Alright. So I did finish a few things of hand spun. The first is a loop bump. This is by Stephanie of Loop. She does wonderful stuff. I spun this for our friend Teresa. It is 348 yards of a chain ply. So, and I think it was around 5 ounces. So it is more of a sport DK weight.
Mm-hmm.
I love, it's got sparkle in it. I don't know if you can see the sparkle. And because it is chain plied, it will go between these colors. So, kind of like a gradient.
Yeah, sort of like a Noro-ish.
Self-striping, yeah, thing. Ooh, that's so pretty like that. So that is the first thing that I am done with. The second thing I actually was swatching with, because I think I am going to knit a Laura Nelkin cowl out of it. So I spun 2 ounces of narwhal.
That's pretty. I'll take that.
It's narwhal.
I don't even care about that. I just like the copper.
Yeah, I know. That's why I bought 4 more ounces. It's pretty, huh?
Pretty.
So, it is 60% merino, 25% silk, 10% bamboo, 5% icicle stellina. And they sell, this is one of their custom blends that they sell. I think this is the only colorway left from that series. I don't know why, because it's absolute, like...
It's gorgeous,
It's gorgeous. Things are not doing it justice. But Laura Nelkin has a cowl that only needs, like, 100 yards that I've knit before that's beaded on...
Yep.
And it runs up and down. So I think I am going to do that. I haven't even measured to see how many yards I have, because I do have another 4 ounces if I need to, but it makes me very happy, and it'll just be like a little thing.
A little bit of zhuzh.
Yeah. And then for spinning, still on the bobbins.
That's so pretty.
Thank you. This is going to be an SSK door prize.
Or will it?
I mean, I do have other spinning that I can do if you really, really like it. This is Just a Glimpse. It was the December. It's like, how messy are Laura's bobbins? How late at night did you finish this one? It is Just a Glimpse. It was the December 2021 Fiber Club from Hello Yarn. So I am going to ply that up. I did spin it fractally, I believe. I'm pretty sure I did fractal. So I'm interested to see how that came out. That was spun on the Daedalus Starling. And then also on a Daedalus Starling is this. I know, right? So this is a gradient. It is called Dark and Stormy Night. So this is 4.25 ounces. I am spinning this for me to make into a rocket tee by Tanis. So yeah, this is the first half, and I'll show you how I split the fiber. So the fiber comes like this. This is the second half, and it is little.
So that you can see the color.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull some out. Well, I'm gonna pull one out so I can keep it in order. So it is little braids of fiber, and I divided each one in half because with it only being less than 9 ounces, the size of the rocket tee that I need is around 1,000 yards. So it's gonna be tight. It is a fingering weight, so that's good. So I divided it in half, and then using a trick that I got from Jillian Marino, I tied a very loose knot in the fiber end that I started with, so when I do this, they'll match up. I'm not going to rewind my bobbins. If I rewound my bobbins, I would have a better chance of the whole gradient matching up, but I kind of want a slow gradient. So if they don't quite match up, that's fine. It'll actually probably look better over the course of the whole t-shirt type. It's a tee. Hand knit garment. It's a tee with like, it's a raglan tee with yarn over increases, so I decided to do a 2-ply because I wanted those yarn overs to really stand out because they are the main feature. And the sleeve is like here, so it's an itty bitty sleeve. So once I get past here, I can just go until I run out of yarn, essentially.
Yeah.
I do have another colorway of Inglenook called Raven that I was going to use for another project, but it's almost 6 ounces, so if I need to sneak a little bit of that into this, I will. But it's just really, really pretty.
Yeah.
And it's, the title of it's based on one of my favorite kids' books of all time, Wrinkle in Time. It's the opening line. So it makes me very happy as a whole. Yep, so it is organic Polworth, 8.7 ounces. So almost not. I should be able to get 1,000 yards out of that. And it's just so pretty. Got blue at the bottom too. So it is spinning very thin as well, like that 2-ply fingering weight. So it is taking some time. It has not been a quick spin, but that's okay.
Yeah.
It's giving me more enjoyment, and it's not like I could cast it on right away anyways. So, well, because I'm still working on this.
No, it doesn't mean you can't.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't make any progress on that.
I'm trying to get some things ready for the try it on room.
I have several new things to take, so that's good.
Well, it's been 3 years, so I've got a couple things.
I don't knit as many garments as you, I don't think. Maybe I do, I don't know.
I've only knit like 4 garments a year.
I don't know, I'll have to go back and look at
I feel like you
notes.
knit a lot more than me, but we can agree to disagree on this.
I give away a lot.
You do give a lot of your stuff. Oh, Steph in her door prize for SSK, she's been wearing the sweater that you knit and sent her.
Oh my god, it must swallow her.
No, she says it's perfect and she loves it and she wears it all the time.
I'm glad, but I mean, she's a tiny,
but she's tall.
She's tall, but she is, I mean, tiny. So I'm glad she's getting enjoyment out of it. That's
She
awesome.
wore it at Maryland when it was super cold for a while, I think. It was so cold at Maryland.
I don't blame her for that. It's funny that I talk so much crap about Maryland always being too hot, and you go and it's just...
It was 40 degrees.
Rainy and cold.
And it was super fun. I enjoyed it immensely.
Let's see, what else? I've been
Next year it'll be 105 degrees.
Yeah, oh yeah.
For their 50th, I'm so fucking
with like
super
lava
excited.
flowing down the road.
Hopefully not that.
I'm reading a fantasy paranormal book called Midlife Magic and Magnolias.
Is that in your Midlife Magic series?
It's a
that
different
you like?
one.
Okay.
There's a whole, like, a bunch of authors got together and decided to write, a bunch of fantasy authors got together and decided to write books geared more toward, or not geared, but featuring
middle-aged protagonists.
Correct.
Yeah.
Which I'm 1,000% behind, because, you know, it gets harder every year to put myself in the shoes of a, you know,
20-year-old?
20 or 17-year-old coming of age with her powers or whatever. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's awesome. There's nothing against those books. It's just harder for me as a 40-plus person to put myself there. So, I like it so far. I'm very confused still. I'm like 60% into the book and still not 100% sure what the hell's going on, which isn't a bad thing. And I am listening to Maintenance Phase, and I started the David Sedaris Theft by Finding, which is him just reading short bits out of his journal from going back to like 1977.
Oh, wow.
I think. Reading like bullet points essentially for different parts of the year, which is interesting because you get to sort of see how he changes as he grows. Right now there's a lot of drug use. But yeah, and I'm watching this show that Keith recommended called, I guess it was on Apple originally, but it's called Severance. And the idea is, I guess it would be considered maybe science fiction, but the idea is that this company puts something in your brain, and already I can see you like you went nope. But this company puts something in your brain, and
I was there when Keith told you about it.
Oh, okay, yeah. And when you go to work,
you should explain for other people.
Exactly. When you go to work, you don't remember anything about your personal life outside of work, so you're essentially a different person. Except you don't have bodily autonomy because all decisions are made by
the company.
Your Audi, which is the person who lives outside of work. Like, it's a difficult concept to explain, but it's interesting. It's got Adam Scott, who was...
It's kind of giving me dystopia vibes.
It's very, yeah.
Okay.
It's got Adam Scott from several things, but from Parks and Rec, he was Leslie Knope's love interest, Ben. But yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of a bummer, though, so I have to take a break. When Laura got here, I was watching The Floor is Lava.
Floor is Lava, my favorite episode.
Because I needed a break. I was like, this is sad.
I'm gonna stay and watch the rest of that episode with you, too.
What about you? What have you been reading?
I've been watching Father Brown, and I am still re-listening to the Alpha and Omega series by Patricia Briggs. I just finished book 4, and I'm about to start book 5, but my library does not have book 5 on audio, so I'm either going to have to purchase it, or maybe I'll look at some other libraries as well. But I've purchased a ton. I already have the Kindle edition, so if I need to,
just read.
I can just read it, but I've been working a lot on this and then spending that dark and stormy night while I've been listening to those audiobooks. So I kind of want to continue with that.
Oh, Keith says yes, he does have one of those things.
Oh, awesome.
I was just going to look and see how many audiobooks I have in my library because I'm curious. 719.
Yeah.
But my husband and my son also use my account.
Yeah.
My son and I tend to listen to similar books, not always the same ones. Michael tends to listen to nonfiction.
And I tend to do Libro FM, which, supports local bookstores.
Yep.
I know for y'all, the Amazon works really well. And I know if you already have a Kindle edition, you're supposed to be able to get like a discounted
Audio.
Yeah, but it's not coming up, so I'll have to mess with that
Yeah,
later.
I don't know if it's for every audiobook.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. They're trying to get me to subscribe.
Of course they are.
Yeah, so I'm like, nope, I can pay that $15 to Libro FM, thank you, and support novel. So, although I do want to see, there's a new African-American-owned bookstore in Memphis. Yeah, we should go.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's Demoir Books. I think they just had their 1-year anniversary. It's owned by a former Memphis school teacher.
Awesome.
I follow them on Instagram, and I might switch to them.
I'm always up for a bookstore visit.
I know. We could hit them and Novel probably at the same
We
time.
could have lunch at Novel.
I know. That is also true.
A bookstore with a cafe, yes, please.
Yes, with good food.
I mean, I imagine in bigger
Absolutely.
cities that's not as novel of a concept.
But here in Memphis, there is one.
But yeah.
I think there's only like 3 bookstores in Memphis now,
Yeah.
so. Yep.
There aren't
Anyway.
Books A Million.
No, I mean, including, like, there's a Barnes & Noble all the way out in Germantown, and then there's those 2. I think that's it.
Wow.
And then Books A Million near us, which downsized recently
Yeah.
and moved. But yeah. And by recently, I mean like 6 years ago.
It's been a little bit.
Because they had a cafe too, and I don't think they do anymore.
Mm-mm.
But yeah. That is when I have been up to. Lots of audiobooks, which is good.
Laura's also been hosting SSK Zooms.
I have on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 p.m. Central to 8 p.m. Central. It's been lots of fun. So that's been great.
Yeah, we have a lot of newbies this year, which is wonderful. So it gives people a chance to ask questions and meet each other and
just hang out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which is a great idea.
We still have some SSK spots open.
Mm-hmm.
You can find those on the SSK website, which is linked in our show notes. Our show notes are found at TheKnitGirlls with 3Ls.com.
Mm-hmm.
They are there every week. We also have the Discord linked there. So if you want to come chat on Discord, there is a lot of chatting going on with Stash Dash right now. And SSK. There's
And a
also
fun
a little
spinning thread,
SSK.
right?
Yeah, I love the spinning thread. It's super fun. And there's also like a fleece washing. There's a crochet. There's a gaming and board gaming thread right now.
Puppy sleeps.
Aw,
And her little feet are shaking.
twitching.
You guys can't see that, sorry.
Pearl was doing that yesterday while I was on Zoom. Her feet were twitching, and I was like, "How can you sleep? Very important things are happening." But when your Daedalus spinner is absolutely quiet, I guess you can sleep.
Yeah, I absolutely adore Daedalus wheels for that. They're complete. Like when you got it sitting right, and you know there's nothing like touching or rubbing like it's not supposed to be.
Yeah,
It's just perfect silence, and that makes me happy.
I know it does. So, and they'll be at SSK and have some wheels for sale as well. So yeah, I think that's about it. SSK Zooms. If you are attending SSK and you haven't filled out your forms yet, please do so. I think I have 8 people that haven't filled out stuff yet
Yeah,
for
and there's
classes.
a couple people that I haven't sent them to.
Okay,
So
that's
don't
probably
yell
why.
at them. Yell at me
Well, I might have already yelled at them.
again.
It happens.
Yeah.
I was like trying to rein in my teacher-ness with it. I was like,
It's funny because
people, I asked you to do something.
because SSK has been put off,
Yeah.
since 2020. We've been very lackadaisical about we haven't asked for money, or payments or any of that until we had a set date and we knew exactly what was going to happen or whatever. So there's been a lot of just get back to us when you can, no big deal.
And now we're a month out,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh no.
Yeah, we have to know things. So,
I would like to get the class schedules up.
Yeah.
So yeah. And if you need any of the forums or the Zoom links or whatever, just send us an email.
Yep, you can reach either of us at Leslie at TheKnitGirls or Laura at TheKnitGirls.com.
.com.
And
or on Discord, or for me on Instagram.
The socials are all over.
Yep.
But
if you go on my Twitter, you can see me complaining to Chipotle yesterday.
Yeah, I forgot to grab that extra.
Oh, I forgot to grab it again too. I hate food waste though.
I know.
I got vegetarian me got a steak burrito from Chipotle, and I was not a super happy camper about it. And their customer service was not doing anything, so I had to tweet, which
Grumpy
also
Laura was grumpy.
I was so grumpy, and I had to eat a salad instead of a delicious burrito.
And I was like, "Yummy! I'm eating
Yeah,
I'm eating mine."
as Leslie sits there eating her burrito,
I was like, "I'm not letting mine go to waste."
They gave me 250 points, which is equal to not quite a bag of chips.
Oh my god!
And a free and an entree to replace, like a free entree. But the problem is, I ordered delivery. This is first world problems, y'all. I could just go get it. And when you order delivery, you have to have an over $10 order. So I basically have to order 2 meals.
Yeah.
So getting a free entree for me is, I guess I could get 2 and put 1 aside and reheat it later. But then I'd be eating Chipotle 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or I could just go pick up my food like an adult.
Or make some at home.
I had quesadillas last night for dinner.
That sounds good.
Because I was like really in the mood for Chipotle, and then that didn't happen. And so I was like, cheese quesadillas it is. I was also out of bread. So, but I had taco shells. I swear I'm adult sometimes.
Yeah, I actually made dinner last night for the first time in a couple of weeks. Because we've been door dashing. Because I haven't felt like cooking, and Michael definitely hasn't felt like cooking.
Yeah.
So we've been either making sandwiches or having like hot dogs or something.
Yeah.
All right, you guys don't care about
Are
that.
hot dogs a sandwich?
I mean, I don't know.
They're meat between 2 slices of bread, essentially. Are they a sandwich?
Is this like a common?
Yes.
Oh. I'm like, why is she so intensely asking me about hot dogs? Sure.
It's like a big discussion. Like,
if you want them to be a sandwich, okay, they're a sandwich. I don't care.
Like, it's a huge discussion point that people argue over.
Oh.
Especially middle schoolers.
Oh, okay.
You could also say, are tacos a sandwich?
Yeah.
I don't think tacos are a sandwich because it's not bread. But it's a bread type carb substance. I don't know.
We could go on, but we're not going to.
I know.
We hope you guys have an awesome week, and we will see you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.